What's going on? It's the RapNerd, and I'm here to talk about Lloyd Banks' album that dropped last Friday, the third edition to his series of The Course of the Inevitable. We're at the third entry, and unlike a lot of other YouTubers, I can't just listen to an album in a day or two and come up with how I feel about it. So I took the whole weekend and up until this point just to keep playing and playing the album, and I know where I land on it. And let me start by saying this is a solid project. I'm not in love with it like the first two, and the reason behind that is because I feel like the production on this album took a little bit of a back seat, and that's a letdown for me because the production has been like super good the last two projects, but for some reason here I don't know what happened, and I'll get into what I'm talking about. So on the positive, the first 6 records on this album, possibly the strongest 6 of the whole series, and like these set of beats right here are what Banks sounds the best on. These 6, what are the other records? I'm looking to the left at check track, just to let y'all know. So the first 6, Red Alert, that's Banks type of joint, and Key to Success. Like those 8 records to me are what Banks sounds the best on. These beats that have this grimy, gritty, vintage G-Unit Lloyd Banks sound to them that challenge Lloyd Banks vocally and lyrically. Lloyd Banks to me has a specific sound. Like if you think I'm lying, just type in Lloyd Banks type beat on YouTube, and I guarantee that set of 8 that I just named that are my favorite joints on this album, they sound very similar to that. They're dark, they're moody, they're gritty. They have this certain like growl to them. Like when you hear them, when you hear Banks rapping over, you can't help to go like, you know, especially like that first track, Pieces of My Pain. Just again, like I said with the last album, Banks' pen game is just ridiculous. To rap at such a fast rate and include all of these multis and punchlines. I mean, what he say? Making pit stops, don't call him Jack a roll collector. I ain't heard of TikTok before the app. You niggas order flats, boom bap. I taught him, I'm the quarterback. Who the fuck think you taught him that? Like, just literally tap dancing on the beat, and he says things so slick that when you don't, if you're not really listening the first time, it's hard to catch. Like even in that verse, Pieces of My Pain, when he goes, so please decline. I ran into some serpents, snake skin on my sneak design. Like so many bars throughout that record specifically. Like I love how that pops off and it has the energy it gives me. And then it goes right into Onyx AMG, which has the same type of moody, just hardcore East Coast shit that I love to hear from Banks. Money turn hood to a paradise. You like that? I see that. I done had it twice. I just love how that hook goes. And again, relentless, bar after bar after bar after bar after all of these multiple syllable rhyming. It's just, I don't know how he writes this stuff because it's so quick paced and so many words, and he never flows or jumps off beat or misses a step or anything. Just relentless with the flow, man. Then it rolls into Money Machine. This is a record I swear I can hear 50 Cent jumping on here and killing too. It just has that certain bop to it. His first set of 6 are just Banks showing off lyrically. And I feel like he's done that on all of these projects to kind of reel in the listener to be like, all right, turn your ears on because I'm going to give you bars here, and then I'm going to set you up with some more content and personal content in the second half of the record. So Money Machine flow, I love the bounce on that record, and then it rolls right into Cliffhanger. You can tell there's a West Coast influence on the hook, point blank period. I love how lo-fi and kind of like riding at nighttime this song feels, and even like I said, the hook when he's just kind of harmonizing. When the dream goes, take it to the sky, la la la. Like you just hear that influence on it, and I just love how vocally he matches it. But still, even though the beat is pretty low down, there's a nice sample in the back that comes in. I think at the 4th or 8th bar, I forgot which bar. At least the 8th, I believe. It's like this little, and then there's another piece of instrument that drops into it to help carry the vocals even more. And of course, Banks is just smoothly spitting bars over this shit. Like I can't even like fathom how he's able to write the way he writes on these records, dog. Because it's utterly amazing to be doing this after rapping for so many years. Like I think he's a better MC now than he used to be because he's no longer just punchlines. Like now it's wit, wordplay, metaphor, like it's no longer like what he used to be. It's no more of the like or as or anything. It's just straight up way better pen in regards to wordplay and just stacking those multi-syllable rhymes on top of each other. When he raps, he breaks down bars into 2. So it's like not just da 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 that 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 da 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 that 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 it's that that da 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 that 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 da 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 that that. Like it's just so many syllables that he just puts throughout the same verse. Like he has 8 rhymes within 4 bars. You know what I mean? Like that's nuts. And then it goes on to this joint featuring Method Man, which I think is a nice change of pace because the beat's kind of slowed down, but the sample is just smooth, and they both ride the beat exceptionally well. They kind of carry the same flow. Bars again, Method Man dropping a heavy verse. Look at the Pearly Gates, that's when them Saints come marching in. Matched Banks with to a T. Method Man lost a step. Like, I don't know if y'all heard his album last year. He dropped a tape called the Meth Lab, and apparently he's been doing these. I didn't know that until last year, but Meth Lab 3, Meth is still God tier with his rapping. So to hear them two collab and make that record, dope. Then it goes into movie scenes, which I feel like this is Banks' club record. I feel like Banks always has some type of club record on every album he does. He's from that cloth of the early 2000s where you have to release a club record, and he does this shit pretty well. I think my favorite bar in there when he was like, "By the take off in this bitch, R.I.P. my favorite amigo." And he's been on record to say Takeoff was his favorite, so I love that homage he gave to a fallen soldier out there. And I love the second verse when he's like, he carries that cadence for the last 4 bars, and he's like, "Some pantyhose weaving, no season, no weaving, we can't believe it." Like it's dope because it shows how well controlled he has over his pen. Like he can do the super multi-syllable rapping, but he has the capabilities to switch it up and just go off a tone and cadence to give you something fun to sing along to. So dope record. So like I said, those first 6 really love, but from this point on, it's a bit of a wish-wash for me because again, the production is not that great. It's a little bit uninspired. The lyrics of the bars, none of that's faltered at all. We all know Banks is gonna bring it, but I'm a firm believer that you can be saying the illest stuff, but if the beats ain't working, I'm not gonna replay it a lot because the beat has to catch me too. So this song Open Gates is the first one, and what it sounds like to me, man, this is why when I was saying it's uninspired or it sounds like a little bit rehashing of the same thing, it sounds like the producer who made this beat, and I haven't looked at the credits so I don't know, but it sounds like he made this beat and was like, you know what, I'm gonna make 7 other beats that sound like this. And that's what the second half of this album pretty much consists of, minus a few, which I will get into. So like they all have, and I'm gonna name the records: Open Gates, LSD, Voices, Automatic Pilot, Invisible, Daddy's Little Girl, Showers, Deceitful Intentions. All of those beats have the same type of setup, the same type of kick, the same type of snare. It's the same type of like vocal sample, because what it sounds like is the producer got somebody to sing and they just took the pitch of the voice and raised the pitch of that voice and just put it in different areas of the beat. Like, and it's the same type of ad-lib singing. To me, these beats, they don't sound bad, so let me say that, but they don't bring the best out of Banks like the first 6, you know what I'm saying? Like, they don't bring the beast out of his flow. And I get it that in these verses and these songs, he's dropping more knowledge, so I'm not gonna act like he's not saying anything, you know? So like Voices is a record when he's talking about the many voices in his head about what he should do in his surroundings, him being paranoid, how to be a father, how to be a man, how to stay out of danger, how to keep living, how to progress through time no longer being his. Like, it's a really introspective record and I love it, but I just wish the instrumental match. Even Daddy's Little Girl, I love that record. It reminds me of me and my baby girl. Like, that started with the cry of his baby. He's talking to his daughter. It's very heartfelt and it made me emotional listening to it. So out of those records, I do like that one the most, just because shit he's saying is so real. You cannot ignore that. Like, and the beat actually isn't that bad for that one. I feel like the tempo is a bit more, so it gives me more as far as from production standpoint. But like Automatic Pilot, I feel like Vado and Dave East sound better on that record than he does. The same with LSD. I think Vado slid on that joint. What he said, a weed farm eating off of grass like plant-based. Like, he slid over that one and he slid over Automatic Pilot. But Banks, to me, just kind of got lost in the beat. Same with Invisible. He kind of got lost in the beat. Showers, I like the message about, you know, it's more about his baby boy. But again, that message got lost to me, you know, during the rapping, and just his voice got lost in the production. Deceitful Intentions, Didn't like that record either. I thought Cormega delivered a really poor verse. Like, it sounds like he's reading off the paper. I don't know when the last time he's rapped, but that joint did not sound good, bro. I'm just listening to it like, what he said? Something like, bunny rabbit, so you catch him at the hop. I was just like, what? I will highlight them other records. Red Alert, fire. Loved hearing Tony back with Banks. It just brought me back to the G-Unit days. 38 Special had an ill verse with his line. He said, he was like, blaming them fuckers. I let shots ring on your pops. Y'all a handful of suckers. And hearing Yayo just talk his foreign shit like, what he say? Put you on the wall like Gucci papers. You say Gucci something. What do you say? I just love Yayo. And especially with his mergers with Vlad TV, glad to see them link up and make another record. They should do a joint project. That'd be hard. So, really like Red Alert. Key to Success too. Oh, that beat is just so hard. And I love how he's doing that triple time flow over this type of beat. And he says something like, he said, you fucking it up for the streets. And the real niggas left with a flat. Deal with niggas who know all the ropes. You gotta wrestle with that. Fire. So, that record I really love. And overall, I do like the album. I'm going to be playing this joint, but it's just those records that I named where the beats sound very recycled. I just kind of skip over those because they don't really do much for me. But them 8 records right there, yo, still fire. And Banks never slacks. I'm hoping he keeps making music because I want to hear more. I'm a huge fan of Banks. Have been since I heard him. And if you watching this Banks or whatever, keep making records because I'm going to tell you right now who's going to listen to him. Me. Every single one of them, every breakdown, and look forward to more records from you. So let me know in the comments what you think of this album and where do you rank them. I think right now I have Course of Inevitable 2, 1, and then 3. So like this kind of content, make sure to like and subscribe. And if you already are subscribed, thank you. Helps me a lot. Leave me a like. And until next time, peace.
RapNerd Productions, no capping, that's word to mommy.